Good morning, folks. Well, Diego here from beautiful, you know where, Ensenada, Mexico. And it's March the 7th, Tuesday, March the 7th, 2023. And I just spent the night here in Ensenada. And now I'm fishing this morning. 6 o'clock in the morning. No one's moving out here at the marina, Ensenada Marina. And I've got my line wet anyway. Just doing a little jigging this morning, but you know, when the mackerel aren't running, nothing's running. Yeah, I'm not even catching sardines or little bitty fish. All I'm doing here is enjoying the scenery this morning and getting a little exercise and fresh air. So there's not much to report. Everything in the world's about the same as it was yesterday. Just a little older today. I haven't shaved yet. I've got to get up to the marina bathroom up there and get a shave and shower. But at least I'm alive and kicking and getting my line wet. You know, doesn't get much better than this. I just wished I had a little woman that could be here at my side. But I think she'd rather party than fish. So at least the world is stable for now. Not much stable, but you know, I just like Mexico because just in case something big would go down, you know, I think there's going to be a lot that happens between now and, let's say, Armageddon. No, I'm not a doomsdayer, folks. I'm just saying, from my 20 years in law enforcement and 66 years of living on this earth, I'm just saying things happen, you know. We all know what could happen if total nuclear annihilation could happen, you know, if things went bad. But before then, there's a lot that could happen. Lesser degrees of terrorism. And being from Southern California, that's my main concern. Is just I don't want to be trapped in San Diego, where I grew up, and you know, anything goes down in Southern California, and that border is going to shut down. You know, like a steel trap, that border will close down, and you're not getting out of the United States. we're we're going to be wanting to get into Mexico as fast as we can, however we can. Sound familiar? So I just want to be living over here on this side. So if something does go down, boom, I can just go further south, you know? There's no military targets or anything of significant between San Diego and the Panama Canal. You know, it's just Mexico, a lot of people, a lot of poor people, not much military, there's no targets. I figure, you know, if something does go down, at least I could be fishing down in Baja. Uh, you know, I want to have me a little fishing village because some people say that here in Ensenada, it's not far enough away from San Diego. But that's of course if the big one ever comes, you know, 100 kilotrons or whatever they are. But it's almost 100 miles, and we got cliffs and mountains in between, and the prevailing wind is blowing eastward. I just think it'd buy some time by being down here in Ensenada to go further south. But really, I've got to get down to the next big fishing village from Ensenada. There's Arindia. That's a nice place. But I like San Quintin. I've been there once or twice, and the fishing's great. The clams, the mussels are great. A person could survive, you know. Yeah, Ensenada's it's good right here in the harbor. I may get me a small sailboat again someday to have over here. But like the minimum rent here, the slip fee, doesn't matter how small your boat is, I think you're still going to pay over $500 a month just for the slip. So unless I'm willing to pay that every month, which I don't really want to do, you know, I can survive in my bug out truck, which is up there. My bug out truck has got everything I need to survive for a week or so. And then with fishing, I could probably survive indefinitely, you know, living out of my truck and all my fishing gear, some propane for cooking. That's the main thing, is just stay warm, stay dry, and have some protein. People have been surviving like that for thousands of years with the protein along the coast. You know, the Native Americans around here survived on mussels. They were there day in, day out, mussels along the coast. Whenever the tide went out, you can go out and pick mussels right off the rocks. We call them barnacles and stuff, you know, but they're mussels, they're clams. So that would be my main source of food, would be they call them choros over here, but the mussels on the rocks. And then fishing, diving, of course, scuba diving or diving, spearfishing, and collecting whatever you can that way is really good. Probably the most, fishing is kind of hit and miss. Like the mackerel and the bonita have not been running for a couple months now, and I haven't caught hardly nothing. You know, a bass or two, a little bass, not even edible. But in a survival situation, of course, you just get whatever you can from hunting and gathering. Fishing is a form of hunting and gathering. Farming is totally different. You know, farming is farming. You've got to stay in one place throughout the growing season, from the time you plant the seed until you can harvest the crop. Apple trees and stuff like that, of course, take even longer than one season of farming. Raising animals, that's not bad, because if it's something like goats, you know, they can travel too. I mean, you can travel every day, all day with goats, and they'll eat whatever grass is available and brush. I like goats, but my thing is fishing, you know. Fishing and boats, I think, is my way of life and surviving. So anyway, folks, not much else going on. I'm by myself again. I'm gonna have breakfast with the boys of Ensenada, the old retired Americans down here that have breakfast over at Alfonso's Pizza most mornings. Boy, they are a wealth of knowledge. Those old guys, you know, doesn't take much, you know, 5 or 6, and you have somebody that knows something about everything under the sun. Those guys can tell you something about it. I didn't grow up that educated talking about interesting stuff. We mostly just sat at the table and ate. We were lucky to have food for a meal. So hard work, I know hard work will get you through this world. So anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of hanging in here, seeing what the little woman does, because I do like her company of her and her family. I do have dreams of owning another little sailboat that I would make into a survival boat with, you know, sail power, electric power, gas power, propane power, and maybe diesel power, you know, just whatever source of fuel is available. I want to be able to take advantage of it. You've got to get out off the coast here, you know, 5-10 miles or so to really get into the big fish, the yellowtail and the tuna and lingcod and all this stuff on the bottom out there. We have some islands out here in the Bahia, the bay, that I'd like to, every morning I'd like to kind of power troll out there, even under electric power, or if there's a little wind, maybe sail. But just troll out there with lures behind you. Get out there, maybe anchor or just drift and bottom fish. And the prevailing wind is coming here into Ensenada, so you'd be drifting to the east. And just use the power whenever you have to. You know, a little electric motor, you know, just enough to move at a little trolling speed, dragging a lure. That's my ideal, folks. Whatever fresh fish you catch, you sell it here to the local people or trade it for other kinds of goods. I think it'd be a great way of life. Retired, as long as the U.S. government still exists, I get my money. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. So no sea lions today. One yesterday was hung up on that gate right there, and it's really quiet. Just the birds and me. Not even the little kitties, the little wild kitties that live up there out of the parking lot. There's one Looney Tune fishing right there. Look at. Got the big long beak stork or whatever. I don't know if it's a crane or a stork. Anyway, just beautiful and peaceful out here on a March the 7th. But there's absolutely no fish. So anyway, every day, just thank God for each and every new day. And thank God that you have your health. You can learn. You have your mind. Learn. And praise the Lord, really, for each and every new day. And for freedoms that we have, because we were born or made our way to the United States of America. So God bless everyone. This is Will Diego, over and out for now. Take care.